Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. All right, so V9 has been out for a while. V8 has been on the outs for a little while. Coach Jerod has both. He's had the 9 for a little while. Let's see what he thinks. Stay tuned. Coach Jerod got the V9 1619 blade the day it came out, just because he's a blade man. He's been on his customs for custom V8s, just to be clear. Year and a half now? Year?
Probably close to a year at this point.
Okay, so you're very, very used to those.
Correct.
And you are not so used to this.
Nope.
I'm going to hit with both of these, and we're going to show a little footage of you hitting me with both of these, and then we're going to talk about it after we hit. Cool?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, stay tuned. Okay, so V9 here, Coach Jerod customized it just like how he usually does, with the lead, with the head tape, with the Road to Pro dampener, and just like his V8. So I spec'd these out after you spec'd them out, and I'm telling you, these are identical, nothing different. They're 12 ounces, guys, 12.0 ounces. If those of you who are counting, you can calculate that on grams if you want to. Okay. I'm going to tell you what I think, and then you can tell them what you think. I actually enjoyed your racket. I usually don't like the V8s or anything before, but yours is fine. I didn't mind it at all, actually, the way you spec'd it up, the way it weighed. But when I went to the V9, it was just a little bit more. It was just a little bit more. It was, when you hit it, it didn't bend. I'm talking a millimeter. Like it didn't bend that extra millimeter, and then it kind of shot off. So it firmed up and then zoom, took off. Oh, that's why I like this racket, because it feels stiffer. I don't know if it is stiffer. The numbers probably don't show it, but it feels that way. And it's the stability is which I like this particular racket. You've had this for maybe a month now.
Yep.
And then you've been kind of going back and forth. Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, well, the first thing is the V9, I have to admit, the paint job is a lot better than I thought it would be. So, as Harry knows, I'm a big tennis equipment guy. So as soon as the V9 came out, I was like, Harry, I need to have this. I'm just going to get it.
It's all about the cosmetics, man.
It's all it
is. Yep.
But in terms of the whole performance-wise of each racket, I think Harry pretty much is right in terms of these are very similar. And I just think that the V9 has slightly more feel. Like you said, I don't know if it's feel or stiffness, but I just don't remember a blade actually having that much feel and pop, actually. So it was a little bit of an adjustment period for me in the beginnings. I actually did spray a couple of balls the very first time I hit with this thing, and I was actually really surprised. I was like, oh, the blade's traditionally a control-oriented racket. Does a lot of things well. Again, as I usually say, it's the middleman's racket. So I was very surprised that the V9, they stiffened it up, added more pop.
Yep.
And I think they're trying to just tailor more towards the modern game in terms of, as you see on the court, a lot of big hitters. So that was definitely, I guess, a surprise to say the least, just because Wilson really hasn't really tailored towards that, towards their 98 square inch rackets. And I mean, in my opinion, if you're, a traditional Babolat guy or 100 square inch racket kind of person who needs a lot of forgiveness, I think this would actually be a great racket to make a transition to if you're looking for that smaller head size. So overall, I think it's just been interesting in terms of them adding a little bit more, again, stiffness or feel to the racket and a little bit more pop. So I think that's pretty much the biggest difference between this one and that one. And I'd say my V8 probably has a little bit more flex than this racket, which is why I think I tailored towards more of that plush, I guess, feeling where it's not as stiff with the V8 versus the V9. So those are pretty much the differences that I realized between both frames.
I asked you last night, I was like, are you playing with the V9? You're like, if I play with the V9, I will never go back to the V8.
That too. That's also true too. Yeah.
Because it's that different. It's that different.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's like a slight difference, but as you all know, I'm just the weird guy that has those small details that always makes a big difference for me. So yeah.
It's that little touchy-feely thing that, it's not even an inch. People call it an inch. We're talking like millimeters here. Like just a hair off, and Coach Jerod is like a mile away. So I get it though. I get it. I'm psycho that way too. Mm-hmm. The other thing I also was thinking about was this feels like almost pro stock. Because I feel like a lot of the pros kind of want a more stable racket. They ask for that. They yearn for that. And when they hit it, they want that hammer kind of feel, like that boom, boom. When I hit it right, I want it popping off that racket. That's why, like, a racket off the wall doesn't usually do it for them.
Yeah.
I feel like this is way closer to that type of racket than that would be, you know?
Yeah, it also kind of felt like the old pro models. I'm sure they'll make a V9 Pro at some point, but this did feel like, the old actually V7 Pro from Wilson Pro Labs. So that was actually very similar in the feel and stuff. And obviously I doctored it up with all the lead tape and whatnot. So it probably did feel more towards the...
So you're talking H22.
H22 kind of feel, yeah. V7. Very similar, very similar. Okay. So again, Wilson I think is just tailoring more towards the modern game of big hitters and big power and stuff. And I think that's what they're doing with their blade line. So that's the biggest difference in their new V9 versus their V8. So
got it.
Yeah.
So that tells me that you're going to be buying more of these once you give those up.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm liking the V8s too, though.
Okay.
I'm liking the V8s too.
Since he customized them. So let's see if the labs will let you customize these. Probably that day's coming soon, if not already here.
Yeah.
Coach Jerod, thank you so much for spending a little time with me and comparing V8 versus V9. Where can they find you?
Guys can find me on Instagram at Ma Tennis.
All right. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Is this on?
Harry, what are we doing here?
Oh, hey, bud. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I'm just setting up my SwingVision over here so that during our hitting session, we can, see how bad I'm doing today.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
But you won't be doing bad, Harry.
No.
You'll be moving your feet, watching the ball.
This is why I love you, buddy.